Welcome back to the channel, CryptoTrendtrader. Just wanted to do a quick little follow-up video after the Amazon pre-earnings report that I put out. Essentially everything I said happened almost exactly to a T. So we were up here at the 200 exponential and simple moving averages. Talked about essentially that gap that we left behind on the way down and then also on the way up. As soon as the Amazon earnings came out, we basically gapped back down and filled that area. And then once the market opened back up the following day, we saw that move ended up sticky. So let's take a look at the fundamentals here and see what we were talking about. So you guys know I went ahead and put in my prediction for what I expected, and essentially that was revenue somewhere around like 125 to 150 billion. They ended up reporting 149 billion. And then the net income, I said somewhere around like 3 billion is what I was saying, to just break even. Otherwise, they were going to be negative for the year. And they came out with 278 million, a profit margin of 0.19%. So if we just zoom out here and take a look at the annual, exactly what I said happened. They ended up doing $514 billion in revenue with a net income of negative 2.7 billion. And that is a profit margin of negative 0.53. So we had obviously spoke about the importance of them at least reporting a net income of 3 billion or more just to break even on the year. And obviously that was not the case. So they ended up with negative net income for the year. And prior to their reporting with the current valuation, their price to earnings ratio was like 95 or something like that. I don't know. You can go back in the video and check for yourself. But essentially now it's a dash because they don't actually make money. At least they didn't last year. So if I went up to a buddy of mine and started telling him about how great my business was and how much revenue we did for the year, I'm sure he would ask me, wow, I'm sure you made a ton of money on top of that. But obviously that's not the case because Amazon did $500 billion in revenue and essentially made zero money. So what does that mean? Well, it's probably a combination of two things. One, obviously Amazon did not have a great year since they literally didn't make any money. And then two, on top of that, probably just the way that these companies are reporting and the tax system and everything is disgustingly corrupt. So without getting into it too deep, essentially think about all the businesses that went out of business because of a single conglomerate like Amazon coming in and taking away $500 billion in business. And then think about if those small businesses doing 50, 100, $1 million in revenue would be able to figure out a way to weasel out of paying any taxes or reporting any actual net income. So when it's all said and done, obviously the system is broken. Amazon had a trash year in 2022, but the fact that they were not even able to report any positive net income is absolutely ridiculous. So again, I'm going to stick with what I said about the markets. We saw the initial move play out almost instantly that I was predicting or expecting. But now from here, it's going to be very hard to try to sell this narrative about everything is fine and the economy is still doing great when you have one of the largest companies in the entire United States literally making zero money. So no doubt there's some tricky accounting involved, but the fact of the matter is, I'm sure if Amazon could have worked the numbers one way or the other to not report a net negative for the entire year of 2022 with over $500 billion in revenue, they probably would have done that. So maybe this was them already getting a little tricky with the accounting. The analysts thought Amazon was getting ready to serve them up a 10-course meal, and instead they just got one bite of a big nothing burger. It's not financial advice, just wanted to do a quick follow-up after literally everything we said happened exactly. Be careful in the markets. There's a lot of bullish exuberance. We can look at the actual numbers and see things aren't going great. The fact of the matter is, Amazon in 2021 did 469 billion in revenue and had a net income of 33 billion, and 2020 was 386 and 21. So over the last couple of years, they increased their revenue like $100+ billion, and they went from making 20 billion to 30 billion to negative 2 billion. So we'll see how the rest of the earnings season looks, but let's not pretend that everything is gravy. All right, that's it for today. Just wanted to do a little follow-up. See ya.